Okay, what I have to tell you this afternoon is that Daniel Converse, age 65, of 80133 County Road 19, Scottsbluff, was taken into custody just in the last few minutes after a standoff that started at about 7:30 this morning by members of the Scottsbluff County SWAT team, with considerable assistance from the Nebraska State Patrol. And we also greatly appreciate the assistance that Valley Ambulance and Scottsbluff Rural Fire Department provided to us today, and a number of other volunteers and people that helped us. This started this morning when we had a report of a man that had some problems and was making some threats and was in possession of a grenade. The responding deputies observed this man, and they challenged him and tried to get him to stop, but he retreated into his house. He was holding something in his hand that the deputy said was the size and shape of a grenade. We talked to friends and family members, at least 3 of whom confirmed that he told them that he had a live hand grenade. So that's what we've been operating on all day, was the belief that he had a live hand grenade. Later this morning we obtained an arrest warrant for him and a search warrant for his house. He's charged with 2 counts of terroristic threats. Right now he's being examined by some medical personnel. He appears to be uninjured, but the SWAT team used tear gas to which I think eventually helped to get him to surrender. And when he finally did surrender, he came to the front window and held up his hands. And so there was, he was pretty much at that point, SWAT members entered and placed him under arrest, and he was escorted outside. So we expect that he will be medically evaluated and then eventually lodged in the Scottsbluff County Detention Center.
Okay, could you spell his name?
Daniel Converse, it's Converse.
Okay, and Daniel, common spelling?
Common spelling on Daniel.
Okay. So, is he going to be taken to the hospital and then medically evaluated, and then? He's undergoing some medical evaluation right now with Valley Ambulance, with their staff. That's happening right now as we speak. And then I think they'll make a determination where he needs to go from there, and if he needs to go to the hospital, then that's where he'll go. And if he's fit to go to the detention center, then that's where he will go. And we have the search warrant for his house, so officers will be searching his house. At this point, we haven't searched the house. We haven't recovered anything. Of course, we're not going to contact him if we think he has a hand grenade with him. And so when he showed his hands, and
so you haven't determined whether the threat was real that he had?
Well, we haven't found a hand grenade, but we haven't searched the house either. So right now, I guess the threat based on the evaluation that we did, when we have multiple people telling us he has a hand grenade. He just told me he has a hand grenade. This is family members and one of his very close friends, and he's describing the hand grenade, and that he's saying, I had the pin out and I'm going to put the pin back in. He is a military veteran, so he does have, any military veteran is going to have experience with ordnance like that. And so you have to take him at their word. We're not going to put our officers at risk any more so than we need to for a man who was, he was basically barricaded in his house. There was no one else in his house. There were no hostages. Certainly we can't allow him to go out and run around, because then the entire public is at risk. We don't know what he's going to do. So we had him contained here. So the tactic there is to negotiate, which we did extensively with trained negotiators from Scottsbluff Police Department and the Nebraska State Patrol. We had the SWAT team is made up of officers from Scottsbluff and Gearing Police Departments and the Scottsbluff County Sheriff's Office, and the State Patrol brought a lot of personnel here to help us with this. and we very much appreciate everyone's assistance. That, it's this is kind of a we said this is kind of a team. This is a team effort for us because no one agency really has enough staff around here. None of us are huge agencies, and so we get together and we worked very closely. And I'm just very proud of the efforts of all of the officers that we were able to get this resolved. It took quite a while, but we got it resolved peaceably.
All right, so the scene is safe right now, but it's not over, right? What's going forward from now on? The search of
the house. Pretty much the search of the house, and so we're going to keep this we'll keep this secure for a while. I don't know how long it's going to take. The house has been filled with tear gas, and so the officers that go in there are going to have the proper protection on there, but so it'll take longer than normal, I assume.
So the charges, terroristic threats?
He has 2 counts of terroristic threats.
Okay, do you expect any more charges after you do a search of the house?
It would depend on what the search of the house reveals. And then we would evaluate. So it's certainly a possibility.